Next point is related to the boiler operating hazardous and preventive measures. So what exactly the hazards are available in the boiler operations and how to prevent these hazards in the boiler operations. So actually we have discussed in detail in one of the session related to the boiler, but still I'm going through these points. It is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions, local boiler safety rules, regulations to avoid the accidents from the boiler. So this is the basic requirement that we have to read, we have to study all the manufacturer's instructions, because manufacturer know the parts, manufacturer know the hazards of every part, hazards of operation, etc. And then they are the only people who can guide in a better way. Then we have to follow the Indian Boiler Regulation Act, Indian Boiler Regulation Rule, etc. Then neglecting safety in boiler operation can lead to loss of lives and assets, because the historical data clearly gives us the idea that most of the accidents related to the boiler are fatality accidents due to the explosion phenomena. The manufacturer manual should be referred for safe operation of a specific equipment. So we have to follow all this manufacturer manual, and the details are given in that manufacturer manual always. Then additional measures for this boiler safety are boiler license, manual and log, location and access, housekeeping, safe operation, maintenance and risk preventions. So one of the major parameter in this boiler operation is the pressure. So whatever the maximum pressure limit or the design pressure or working pressure is there, that should be followed. And if you are going to follow the pressure or the temperature criteria, then obviously the main phenomena of that boiler operation is going to control, because pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. If you increase the temperature, obviously the pressure is going to increase. If you increase the pressure, then the temperature is also going to increase. And due to the pressure only, the blast or the explosion was there in the previous accidents, due to which the majority of the peoples are culprit, or due to which the death may be occur. So this is another system other than the boiler. So when the boilers are not the feasible equipment in that industry, then we can adopt a thermal fluid systems. So what is thermal fluid systems? The name itself suggests that thermal means heating, and the fluid means that may be a gas or liquid. So the system in which the heating is going on with the help of some media, and the most of the media is oil, to heat the liquid or gases. That system is called as thermal fluid systems, or that is also called as thermic heater. So thermic fluid heaters are nothing but the thermal fluid systems. So thermal fluid may be liquid or vapor. Vapor phase systems may either incorporate a heater in which vaporization of the fluid takes place within the vessel, or a flooded heater where the fluid is vaporized extremely through a flash drum, and vapor systems with condensing vapor provide a uniform heat source than the liquid phase system. So mainly this operation is occur to liquid to vapor systems, and then if you need, then you can convert these vapors to liquids. So with the help of oil heat, we are going to heat that liquid or the mixture of liquid and vapor, and this most of the liquid is going to change into vapors. So this is nothing but a heater system, but with the help of oil, generally with the help of direct heating system, but the media is oil, and with the help of this heat which is carried by the oil, we are going to provide the heat of oil to the liquid which is present in that system. So we are not going for the combustion of coal or the combustion of biobriquettes or etc. This is a general process in the boiler operations. For the boiler operations, we are using the combustion process and we are using the coal or biobriquettes or some other agricultural waste, etc. for the burning purpose. And after burning, whatever the heat is generated in that furnace, that is utilized to increase the temperature of water. And after some time, this water is going to change into vapors or wet steam, dry steam, or superheated steam. But that is not the case in the thermic fluid systems. So we are converting these liquids into the vapors, or whatever the vapors are generated, that can be superheated with the help of these fluids or the oils. So furnace or the fuel, that is hydrocarbons, etc., are not involved under these thermic fluid systems. So what are the risks involved under these thermic fluid systems? There may be a fire risk and some other risks are available, and we have to prevent this risk. So thermic fluid heater is normally operated below the boiling point of thermal oil. So we have mentioned that thermal oil is used as a media to absorb the heat from the source and to provide the heat to the liquids, right? So that temperature is below the boiling point of thermal oil. So whatever the oil is there in the thermic fluid system, that the boiling point of this oil is higher side. Then and then only it can be utilized. So the operating pressure is the pump pressure to circulate the thermal oil through the heater with sufficient flow to prevent the overheating of the thermal oil. So we have to prevent the overheating. So we have to observe this overheating. And if you observe this overheating and control the overheating and the pump pressure, then we can avoid the fire risk or the explosion risk. Thermal oil is a flammable substance which can produce a flammable mist and to induce the fire and explosion hazards at high temperatures. So due to this thermal oil characteristics, which is a flammable substance, the fire chances are there. And if the flammable mist is created, then there may be a chances of explosion. So for controlling of this, working temperature of thermal oil is an important factor. So we have to control this temperature of thermal oil for the safe operation. The furnace of the fire thermal oil heater is the highest space in which an explosive gases may accumulate when thermal oil or fuel oil is leaked into the furnace. So leakage is another point, and that is why we have to control, we have to prevent this leakage. So prevention or controlling the leakage is one of the parameter. Then second is to control the working temperature of the thermal oil and to reduce the temperature as well as the pump pressure or operating pressure of the thermal oil. These are the three preventive techniques to reduce the risk of fire in the thermic fluid heater. So unknowingly, this picture is added, which is not related to thermic fluid heater. Fire risk and prevention, that is on the continuous basis. So we already discussed that we have to avoid the leakage, because due to this leakage, there are chances of fire, and that is why we have to observe on a regular basis the equipments and the different parts of these thermic fluid systems to avoid the leakages, to avoid the fire hazards. Then the solution is, for these different leakages, you can go for the regular maintenance, you can go for the preventive maintenance and routine checking of the seals and connection. So if you check the main seals and connection, then obviously most of the part and the problem of leakage can be solved. Then cracked heater tubes, that is another issue. So sometimes due to the high temperature, due to the different characteristics of the oil, there may be a chances of cracking of these heater tubes. So while maintenance, the right insulation and materials are the part of the solution. The simplest solution is switching over to a electric thermal fluid systems. And electric thermal fluid system doesn't use an open flame, reducing the risk of ignition and As well, they can offer direct heating, making them much more efficient. So it's also important to use adequate sensors. For example, if the flow rates gets too low, it can raise the temperature of the tubes. So we can go for the electric thermal fluid heaters. That is one of the solution to avoid the cracking of these heater tubes. So these are the different hazards and their preventive measures or the solution for that. Then another is inadequate sensors or sensor failure. So sometimes it happens that that actual temperature is different one and it is showing different one. Actual pressure is different one and the showing is different one, or the different fluid levels are are the readings are different, and sometimes it shows the different level of that fluid. So it can gives us the accident. So if we go for this solution like using an intelligent automated control panel, which ensures the constant monitoring and accurate control over the processes. This improves the efficiency and safety in your processes. As well, the terminal boxes are available in variety of ratings, including the explosion proof and weather resistance housings. So we can go for this automated control panel, which can ensure the more reliability than the regular sensors. So these are the general safety precautions for these thermic fluid heaters. All heaters shall be be of such construction that the coil shall be removable for the periodic cleaning. Visual inspection and hydraulic test can be done. Then suitable arrangement shall be made for cooling the furnace effectively in case of power failure to the heaters. So cooling system should be provided. Then periodic inspection and visual inspection should be done. Then thermic fluid used for heater shall be circulated in closed circuit formation with an expansion cum creator tank. This tank shall be located outside the shed where the heater is installed. So this is the closed circuit formation. Every oil and gas fired heater shall be provided with a photoregister actuated audio visual alarm to indicate the flame failure. So in case any flame failure is there, then the alarm system, that may be audio visual alarm, should be given. And then automatic burner cutoff system should be adopted. Stack temperature monitor cum controller with audio visual alarm shall be provided to the heater so as to warn the operator in case the outlet temperature exceeds the specified minimum. So whatever the maximum point or maximum temperature is there, for that purpose, we have to use this monitor cum controller system. All heaters shall be provided with the following devices like level indicator in the expansion tank, temperature indicator of thermic fluid, different pressure switch across the inlet and outlet line of the heater tubes, temperature control device for the fuel supply to the burner. So these are the different accessories or the parts of that thermic fluid systems, and these are the general guidelines, that is safety guidelines or precautionary measures for the thermic fluid heaters. Then explosion vent for heater shall be so installed that the release takes place at safe locations. So explosion vent should be provided in that system. Maximum temperature of thermic fluid in the heating of heater coil shall not be exceed the figure specified the manufacturer. Then the burner, nozzles, oil filter, and pump shall be cleaned once a week during the period of use. The heater, when in operation, shall always be kept in charge of trained operator, and all safety interlocks when operated shall be indicated or on the control panel of the heater by a suitable audio visual alarm. So these are related the safety guidelines or the safety precautionary measures for this thermic fluid system is. Thank you. Thank you for your patient listening.